All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is January 7th, 2022, 8:06 p.m. Eastern Time. In today's content, we'll talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin. We'll talk about BTC on the high degree, and we'll talk about it on the hourly and what type of price action we could be anticipating over the next like a few hours or even like during the weekend and all that good stuff, right? So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord public group or the Discord premium group, link in the description and all that good stuff, guys. So make sure also to follow me on Twitter. I don't tweet a lot, but make sure to follow me for some updates and all that good stuff, right? Hey, what's up, Craig? Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm gonna update Filecoin for you, right? I'm working on it. We'll send the chart later on, right? Hey, what's up, George? Kiba Inu. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Uh, Clay in the house, Quiet Cook in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. John Doe, where you been at, man? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis. We're going to start off with the 3D time frame. If you've been following our channel long enough, you know the 3D time frame, it is what our best friend. Okay, 3D 6 hour, those two time frames, right? They tend to give us the most accurate directional move, not some short-term trends, like 2% pump and all that good stuff. We're talking about like 20% pullbacks and all that good stuff. So the 3D time frame, it is one of the most important time frame. If you're looking for a trend, a trend reversal or all that good stuff, basically, right? So when we take a look at the 3D time frame, what we said over the last few weeks, since like when mid-November, right here, if you guys recall what I said right here, it is not time to pack our bags, right? However, if we open and close a candle below the 3D 21, let's just suck it up because we know we're going to be in trouble until we basically get a positive MACD. Okay, so yes, sometimes BTC can give you a nice 40% pump out of nowhere, right? But last time we got a 40% pump was like over 2 years ago, back in 2019. So should we be expecting like 40% pump all the time? No. Could we get one? Yes. And we will talk about the RSI, right? 3D RSI support, because it is very, very important. Whenever we retest like RSI 35 on the 3D, we tend to get some pullbacks. Okay, sometimes the pullbacks, they can be reversal or they can just be like sideways. But we will see. Okay, we will talk about all that good stuff in a minute, right? So going back to the 3D time frame, what we want to see over the next like a few days, it could be in January or even February. We want to get a bullish MACD. Okay, number one scenario, we want to get a bullish MACD. As long as our MACD is negative, price action below the 3D 21, the trend going to be down. Okay, I'm just gonna have to repeat it. As long as MACD is negative on our 3D time frame, right? And price action trending below the 3D 21 EMA, right? The trend going to be downward. Remember, downward and bear market, they are two different things, okay? Just because the trend is down, it doesn't mean we're in a bear market. I just have to be clear with that, okay? I'm not saying we're in a bear market. All I'm saying is the trend going to be down. So till we get a positive MACD, we can basically call for an uptrend, right? But the macro scale on the monthly basis, we're still above our monthly 21 EMA. Monthly 21 EMA, we will talk about it later on. It is at 37. So, but just keep that in mind. That way, you won't be confused about a downtrend and a bear market and all that good stuff. Okay. So now let's talk about something very, very important, which is a nice head and shoulder pattern on the 3D. Or it doesn't matter which time frame you want to look at it. If you take a look at it right here, if you draw a line at 40K, right, you can see, right, we got what? A left shoulder, we got a big head, and we got another potential right shoulder. Okay, so if that's, if we, if bears manage to play out nicely, the bearish setup right here, it could dump down to the low 30Ks. Okay, it is just a setup. I'm not saying we will dump down to the low 30Ks. I don't have a target all the way down to low 30K. I'm looking at the monthly 21 first and the weekly 100 EMA. We will talk about all that good stuff, right? But just keep that in mind in case you see it somewhere, you know exactly what they're saying. Okay, the reason sometimes I don't like this head and shoulder pattern formation, I said it back in since like 2019. Sometimes you can get what? You can get a flat correction like that before you dump. So you just have to be very, very cautious if you want to be trading the head and shoulder pattern. You want to get, you want to get confirmation. That's why when BTC was at 51.7, I was screaming. I was saying, okay, we're about to dump. You don't want to wait till we hit like 40K and you want to be bearish. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be bearish as soon as possible, right? Whenever the price action get a single candle, the first bearish candle right below the 3-day 21, meaning like open and close below the 3-day 21, you want to start being bearish, not like after we dump 20% after that. So if you short it like at 50, 51, you might want to be taking profits, right? Take at least 50 to 60% profits right there. I said it 2 weeks ago, right? So take some profits right there. So that way you're going to be safe and just follow the trend until we basically get a bullish reversal pattern. So now the next thing we're going to talk about regarding the 3-day time frame, it is going to be what? Guess what, guys? RSI. So if you take a look at the RSI right here, the range of 35, right? Let's say 35, 30, I would say 36 to 34 range, give or take. It is quite a very, very important range. Okay, if you guys recall back in June, right? July, right? I was very bullish when the RSI was just about like a 34 to 36 range, give or take, right? And if you take a look at it right here, we got a similar pattern back in 2019, right? October 2019. That's when we got the big pump right after we bottomed back in December 2019. Also, we got that pump all the way up to 10.5. So the same level, okay? That same level of a 34, 36 range, that's where we consolidated back in 2018, right here. Okay, so we just have to be very cautious, even though the 3-day time frame is calling for lower prices and the monthly 21 EMA is is very excited right now to support the price. If we get there, we just have to be very cautious in terms of like the 3-day RSI support, right? The good news for the bears is like if we drop below 35 on the 3-day, it tends to be what a big move. Okay, it tends to be a big move. So just keep that in mind, right? As you can see right here, back in 2018, we dumped massively below it. Right here, back in 2020, right? March 2020, we dumped below it, and basically that signaled the end of the downtrend and all that good stuff. So if we dump below the 35, that possibly could signal the end of the downtrend, and we're most likely going to be what? Going to be reversing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be extremely bearish as soon as we cross 40K because, you want to be accumulating. Okay, anything below the monthly 21, we will talk about the monthly 21 in a minute. It is going to be what? It is going to be a steer, right? So now let's move on to BTC and the 4-month cycle. Most people pay attention to the 4-year cycle, but the 4-month cycle, right? If you take a look at it right here, okay, back in January 2021. If you guys recall, back in January 2021, if you are at least in my public Telegram group, what I said back then, January 7th, okay, after we opened the first candle of the year, the first 7 days, what I said exactly now, 28, right? 28 to 30K going to be what our new macro support. Anything at or below 28K going to be what? going to be a steal. If you guys recall, guys, I said it clearly. And if you take a look at it right here, after that, we never basically open and close a candle below 30K, right? Never opened a candle below, right? Open and close a candle below 30K since like the first week of January, okay? Started January 1st till January 7th. So we dumped right there. I was saying, guys, buy the dip, buy the dip. After we dump back down to a 30K right here, I was saying buy the dip, okay? So, but if you take a look at it in terms of 4-month cycle, January 1st, January 7th right here, right till basically May 19th, that's 4 months. Okay, we retested what, 40K, right? And you take a look at it between May till September, right? We retested what, 40K, and we basically pushed it upside. And now we just back down, okay, right around like 40K, give or take, okay? So it means like we've been moving up and down, just about like a 40K to, 60K, give or take, right? So as you can see right here, if we dump down to a 30K, that could signal the bottom. Okay, that could signal the bottom. I know most basically bears are looking for like a 10K, like Mr. 10K, right? He's looking for 10K and all that good stuff. But BTC breaking out below 30K won't be easy. I'm not saying it won't, right? But it won't be easy. Okay, it won't be easy to break out below 30K. Okay, so something to keep in mind, right? Regarding the 4-month cycle, we could be retesting the 40K again within the next like a few months and so on, or even like just break out to the upside, right? And all that good stuff. But we can just say like we're going to be breaking out. We just have to wait for our 3D MACD to give us the signal for reversal. It is pretty easy, guys. It is a very, very easy setup. A very, very easy setup. You don't need nothing else. The only thing you need is your MACD and basically your 21 EMA basic. That's the only thing you need. Okay, you don't need Bollinger Band, you don't need the cloud, you don't need nothing else basically. Okay, it is a very, very, very easy setup. If you're trading BTC, short to medium term, you don't worry about like a 5% pump and dump. You're looking for those, 50%, 60% breakout. Follow your 3D. I've been saying it like over the last few months, okay? And it's working perfectly, right? So now let's move on to right here. So now let's move on to the weekly time frame, right? And we will talk about the monthly. So when we take a look at the weekly time frame, right, regarding BTC, we talk about like how the weekly been rejecting the price action right here at 51. So most people wanted to anticipate the breakout above the weekly 21. But as I said, right, on the low degree, if we take a look at it on Gemini, before we go back to the weekly, let's take a look at it right here. So most people have been anticipating what? A breakout above the weekly 21. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, Buzz? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Juan in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. Sucker gonna pop. It could. Hey, what's up, Linksfin? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hola, One Speed, ¿cómo estás? Hank, Mr. Hank in the house, Mr. Litecoin. Pablo S. Crypto, ¿cómo estás? In the house. Oh, Mr. iString Man from Bali, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. So let's go back to the weekly time frame because the weekly is quite important. I know most of you guys only pay attention to the weekly, but you already lost your weekly 21 EMA and price action below the weekly 21, right? Of course, right? And MACD is negative, right? So your next support you should be paying attention to, if you only trade the weekly 21, it is going to be your weekly 100 EMA. We're already breaking out below the 50, and if you take a look at it right here, I'm not a big fan of the weekly, right? But I do pay attention to it. It doesn't mean like I don't trade it. But if I see a good opportunity on the weekly, I will basically incorporate it into my analysis. But I just don't basically go ahead and check out the weekly like every single week and all that good stuff, right? but I do pay attention to it, right? So hopefully you understand what I mean. So if you take a look at it right here, your weekly 100 EMA, it is going to be at 35, right? So right there, your monthly 21 going to be at 36. So if, we dump down to that area, you want to be what? You want to be bullish. You don't want to be selling your BTC, even if the 10K bear, going to be saying like, oh, we're dropping down, we're going to drop down to like a 10K and all that good stuff. Don't listen. Okay, don't listen, all right? Because I said it multiple times, right? If you buy BTC at the monthly 21, you should just go to sleep. Okay, you should not be doing anything else. You should not be doing anything else after you buy BTC at the monthly 21. Yes, you should be doing something. You could be dollar cost averaging, right? But what I mean by that, right, is like, these pumps, okay, after we retest the monthly 21, they tend to be what, 9 to 10x. 9 to 10x move, right? So if you go back and back test it on basically right here, let's take a look at it on Bitstamp. If you go back and back test it, you can see like last time we retested it right here, not last time, but back in 2014, we pumped after that, right? 30x, even though we dumped 50% below it, right? We pumped like what? Nearly over 40, 50x, right? Right there, 46x, right? So right here, we pumped right there, 10x, right? Over 10x, right? So what I'm expecting over the next like a few months, right, is like we at least going to be pumping like, let's say 5 to 7x above the monthly 21. That's going to take us roughly around like a 300,000. So, but I'm not saying we cannot drop below it. All I'm saying is if you are looking to accumulate BTC and go to sleep, you're buying out the monthly 21, anything below it, you just dollar cost average. Because based on, the previous price history, you're going to be making bucks, okay? So we'll just suck it up and not try to be extremely bearish below, below the monthly 21, okay? So if you look back, right, you say, okay, when BTC was at 7K, myself, I was calling for what, 5K. However, if you look back, you're going to be like, man, I should just sucked it up. Right, and basically collect my 10x, right? So so hopefully bull's gonna suck it up right here and down, right, and not try to be too bearish, calling for 10K and 5K and all that good stuff. Right. So now, since like we already talked about Gemini, right? Let's take a look at BTC on Gemini. So if we take a look at BTC on Gemini, right? So what we said, it doesn't matter which time frame you want to look at it, but it is pretty apparent, right? You can see like right here, we created a double flat correction. Okay. Right here, okay, we got that move, we got this move, right? Most people don't pay attention to Gemini, but sometimes Gemini can give you some nice setups, okay? So if I did not basically pay attention to Gemini, right, I wouldn't be very confident BTC is going to be dropping. You see what I'm saying? But after I basically realized like Gemini is creating a a flat correction right here, I was like, okay guys, it's time to suck it up. Double top, double bottom, you know the rest. Double top, double bottom, dump. Double top, double bottom, pump. So whenever you get these type of moves, you just have to go with the original directional move, okay? Meaning like price action started the dump, so it just has to continue the dump. So that's why we were bearish at 51.7, and now we dump all the way down to our target 409.75. So if you've been following some crypto, 409.75 was what? Our first macro support right here before the monthly 21. Okay, so now let's take a look at BTC on the daily, because the daily, it is creating something very, very interesting. Okay, why it is interesting? Because most people, they think like whenever you see a bull divergence, right, you just have to suck it up. Yes, whenever you see a bull divergence, you just have to suck it up, but it might not mean, right, a reversal pattern. Okay, what I mean by that, right, is like if you take a look at this right here, we got a nice bull divergence. Okay, right here. However, just like what I said on the way up, right, you just don't know how low your MACD going to drop. Okay, you just don't know if the MACD going to retrace lower, price action could be retracing what? Lower. Okay, so even though it is still a valid bull divergence, but it is not, it is not done yet. It is not like 100% done. How can you basically tell? If we get another crossover right here, then you can basically draw a pattern like that. You see what I'm saying? So, but it is too easy right now and too early, right, to say it is a bull divergence. Okay, it is too easy and too early to say it is a bull divergence. Okay, I would say I would give it like probably not more than 60%, right? However, if we get a bullish crossover, I would give it like 80% probably. Okay, like that. Then we could say, okay, even if we drop lower right here, it is just going to be a fake out. We can still retest the resistance potentially, or we will check the Fibonacci's and all that good stuff, right? You get the point, right? Capiche? So keep that in mind, right? So we talk about BTC on a weekly 3D, the 6 hour. I don't think we talked about 6 hour yet, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on the hourly basis, because the hourly basis is quite interesting. It's very, very interesting, right? A nice bullish setup. So if you take a look at BTC on the hourly basis, right? Right here. If you recall, during our last live stream, what I told you guys, right? BTC is likely to create what? A continuation pattern. We just talked about what? A double top, double bottom. Remember, BTC was right here, right around like a 42.6. But I said, keep an eye on your what? Your 1 hour 21 EMA. If you're looking to enter a short, because it is going to create what? A flat correction. We just talked about a flat correction on a 6 hour basis, right? On Gemini, when we said a double top, double bottom, like that, it is what? A continuation pattern. So if we take a look at it on the hourly basis, right, it created the same exact pattern. So as soon as I saw the pump up to like a 43.7, it dumped down to like a 42.4. I was like, okay, this is it. Okay, we got the pattern we need. So it created a continuation pattern, and later on is creating what? Another bull divergence. So you see the same bull divergence I just showed you on the daily. And I was saying like you have to wait for the MACD to cross positive again before you call for a reversal. Okay, not even a reversal, but a pullback. So since like we got a bull divergence on the hourly, we got to be looking for a what? A resistance. Okay, and the resistance we're going to be looking for going to be what? Our 1 hour 100 EMA right there. You might be saying, why not the 50? I don't play the 50 that much, right? But would be looking for the 100 EMA, right, on the hourly basis. And that could coincide with the, I know Leroy going to be like, oh, 43.3, but it could coincide with the 43.3 resistance, depending on volatility. It could even push all the way up to like a 43.7 right now if the volatility is high. But if the volatility is low and it wants to create another retest of the bottom and retest it, it could basically be somewhere around like a 42.8 to like a 43.3. Who knows, right? But you get the concept, right? So hourly, don't get faked out, right? Don't get, don't basically go with the fake out if we pump back up to like a 43 and all the moon boys going to be calling for 63, 73, 83 and all that good stuff, right? But it is just going to be a short-term pullback. Okay, it is just most likely, okay, especially during the weekend. If you guys recall also, right, if you in our public Telegram group, when BTC dumped right here, on the 29th, right there, okay, what I showed you, right, I told you it is not going to be a reversal. It is just going to be what? A pullback up to the 100 EMA right there. And that's exactly where we got rejected at 43.3. And it created what? Another flat correction right here. If you take a look at it, it created another flat right here. So I showed you in our public Telegram group, and I told you like the highest we're gonna get, right? It is going to be at 43.3 because it is going to create what, a double top, double bottom, and it is going to what, get rejected. As you can see, we could not even go above the 100 EMA on the on the hourly basis. And if you paid attention, right? Sometimes I don't basically want to be giving you guys too much information, right? But if you paid attention right here, you got the same move right here. That's why I was very confident BTC was going to dump. Okay, so you got the same pattern right there. So you knew something big is about to happen, right? So because sometimes most of you guys going to get confused if I give you if I showed you too much information, right? But keep that in mind, okay? Short-term resistance up to the 1 hour 100 EMA. It could even create another potential flat correction, right? Meaning like we could pump right here, dump fast, and still do something like that before dumping low. So it could be a very, very boring weekend, but could be volatile also if we just going to be repeating all these patterns like that, right? So now I think we're done with BTC. So let me take a look at the chat room. Outlow, thanks a lot for tuning in. HR, my old friend, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC. So if you guys have any question, right, regarding any alt, let me know, right? Put it in the chat room, and I'm gonna take a look at all those suckers, right? Because some of them they pretty bullish, like like Link doesn't want to drop, right? But it is okay. It is just about the monthly 21. That's why it did not basically break down, right? But we will take a look at some of these alt, right? Let's see. So now let's move on to Ethereum. Hopefully most of you guys caught the Ethereum dump, because I gave you a warning, like not it wasn't even a warning, it was a trade setup, like since like the first week of December, right? When Link was like, not Link, this guy Ethereum was at 4100, right? So so by now, right, you guys must be familiar with the Ether setup. Okay, so Ether, we did pretty well. I'm just gonna give you guys a short overview about Ether. Okay, remember guys, I was pretty bearish on Ether back in 2019. Okay, right here when Ether was like, right around like $300 back in June, I said we're going to drop all the way down to 80. Okay, right? We hit like nearly $100, but we pumped back up to 270. And I was like, okay, we still going to retest the lows. So it dumped with, BTC. And I was screaming, I was saying, guys, suck it up, right? Buy it, okay? And right here, right, back in September, that's when I really turned bullish on Ether. I was like, don't short it, okay? Just stay with the trend. Okay? Since like Ether was like roughly around like 390, right? 410. The breakout at 410 basically trigger the big uptrend right here. Okay, if you guys recall, because we did have a small channel. Most of the time, this type of setup, I'm bearish with it, right? Like, because it is a double top, double bottom right here, right? It is a flat correction, right? But I was very bullish on Ether back then, and after we broke out above 410, right around back in November, first week of November, I was like, okay, let's just suck it up now. Okay, so we stayed bullish on Ether all the way up, guys, all the way up to a 4K right here. Okay, so started all the way down, like let's say $300 all the way up to nearly 5K. We've been pretty much bullish on Ether, right? So as you can see right here, we created a nasty wedge pattern. Why it is nasty? Because it is pretty apparent, right? It is a bearish, you could look at it as a bearish setup if we break out below the 21 EMA. Okay, so we broke out below the 21 EMA, right? The first week of December, pumped back up above it, but MACD right here refused to basically cross bullish. So I was like, okay, so we got to suck it up now. If MACD, since like MACD is not bullish, right? Price action with a strong pullback up above the 21 EMA, we couldn't basically get the MACD to flip bullish. So we just have to go with the MACD. Okay, that's why I was bearish on Ether. Not like I don't like Ether or anything. I'm just going with the trend. Okay, so we've been bullish on Ether for over a year. So it's nothing wrong to call for a, 25-30% dump and all that good stuff. So, and what we're looking at, in terms of Fibonacci, right around, 50% to 0.618, going to be based on a log scale, right? Based on log scale, 50% pullback going to be like right around like a 2950, and 0.618 going to be at 2600. However, if you take a look at it based on non-log scale, right, 50% pullback was give or take, okay, 3250, right, and 0.618 going to be 2920. So I was saying like, okay, just to get a nice average, right, you could be looking for 3150 all the way down to 2850 just to cover the entire range. Can it drop lower? Absolutely, it could still drop low, right? That's why we're going to be paying attention to what our monthly time frame. So if we break out below that support of 2850 and all that good stuff, the monthly 21 EMA for Ether going to be at 2324 as of now. Since like it is a moving average, right, it is not going to stay constant. If Ether keeps on dumping, it could be somewhere around like a 2280, 2290, right? But the exact price level doesn't matter. Just the range, okay, that's what you need to look for, right? If and only if we break out below the 2850, but we will take a look at it, because I don't think we will dump all the way down to 2224 range, right? We will take a look at it, because we could create another correction somewhere around like a 28 to 31, give or take, okay? But we will see. But however, if we break out strongly overnight down to the monthly 21, you know exactly what to do. Okay, you know exactly what to do. So you won't need any updates and all that good stuff. As you can see right here, back in 2018, we did not basically break out straight down below the 21. We consolidated for like a 5 month above the 21 EMA. Okay, so either keep an eye on it. Major support 3150, 2850. If we break out below it, check your monthly 21 and just go to sleep, right? You don't need to be doing anything crazy right after that. So we will see. But in terms of the monthly time frame, the pattern we got right here, right, it is pretty similar. We got a flat correction. Okay, we got, yeah, if you take a look at right here, we got a flat correction right here. So a flat correction is a very, very powerful pattern. Okay, so you can even see it like you got a an expanded flat correction also right there on our RSI. So either we just have to be very, very patient with it, just in case. Okay, just in case it has to do something like that. Okay, it has to do something like that again. Not exactly, but you get the concept, right? But Moon Boys, if you do something like that, they're going to be like, Send Crypto says Ether will break out in 2020, in 2050, whatever, okay? But just a random pattern, okay? So keep an eye on Ether, basically just to keep it short, 2850, 3150 for support, secondary support. You got 2650 also, but the biggest macro support going to be the monthly 21, okay? So if you're still shorting Ether, just put a stop loss and and let it do the work. Iceman, thanks a lot for tuning in. Iceman in the house, Mr. Litecoin. Right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Ether on an hourly basis. So Ether on the hourly, it is basically printing the same exact setup as BTC, bullish divergence right here. So the 10K bear is bullish, right? So, he's gonna basically go all in here, right? And most likely going to get in trouble, right? So it is a bullish setup, but only on the hourly basis, not a reversal pattern as of now. Okay, I don't look for a reversal pattern, right? On the hourly, I look for a reversal pattern on the 6 hour basis. And if we take a look at the 6 hour time frame right here, we don't even have any bullish pattern. The only bullish pattern we could have basically anticipated was like a double bottom right here. That's why I just told you on BTC, you just have to be cautious because you just don't know how low your MACD is going to drop. Okay, you just don't know how low. If MACD basically dropped slowly right here, we could have created a bullish pattern and price action could probably get contained at 3600 and then we could reverse. But take a look at it, what happened right here. Okay, even if I recall well, back in 2019, actually 2020 for BTC, right, on a 6 hour basis, we did have the same exact setup around like, I think like around like a 9100 range, right? Yeah, we did have the same exact setup right here because myself, right, I was anticipating. That's why sometimes you just have to learn from your previous setups, right, and all that good stuff. Right here, you can even go back and check my videos like the first week of March back then, okay? I was saying like BT will dump, okay? So right here, you can see like, I was saying like, okay, we're probably going to get a support at 8,500, right? So, because what I was anticipating was like a bullish divergence right here. Okay, that's what I was anticipating. But guess what? Sucker basically, as soon as we broke out right here, I was like, okay, let's just suck it up. So, but it created a wedge pattern. You're thinking like you're going to get a double bottom because of the MACD right here, but sucker dump hard, and that's the same exact setup we just got on Ether. Okay, so but most of you guys don't remember that far, right? If because you guys don't care, you just take the profits and run away, just like me, right? So yeah, let's go back to BTC on the 6 hour. Yeah, if you take a look at BTC on the 6 hour right here, we're not getting any sort of reversal. All right, I'm not saying like price action can't pump like let's say 5, 7, 8% and all that good stuff. I'm talking about like a reversal, like a trend reversal. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to wait for these moving averages on the 6 hour to basically flip bullish. Okay, we got to get this guy start to point up yellow, and we gotta get the blue line right below, right, and we got to get the red line right there, something like that. Okay, you can take a screenshot if if you get this pattern, right, you better stop shorting this sucker. Okay, if you get this pattern on the 6 hour, okay, even sometimes if you're comfortable with the trend and you understand exactly what's going on, you could anticipate it on the 4 hour time frame, right? But the 4 hour is very tricky. That's why if you recall right here, I did not even you can see like right here on the 4 hour, right? I did not basically trade it on the 4 hour. If you traded it on the 4 hour, you would have basically for get wrecked right here basically, because you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to anticipate it. But I didn't like it because the 8 hour 100 MA was right there rejecting the price action right here. So So sometimes it is not just like, it is not systematic. You can't just say, okay, moving averages cross bullish, I'm going long. MACD cross bullish, I'm going long, and all that good stuff. If you do that, you're going to be in trouble. Sometimes you have to basically check everything. Have to check everything. Sometimes you can see a bullish setup, but it is a bullish setup just to get you wrecked. Okay, so keep that in mind, right? And right there on the 6 hour, if you guys recall, after we got the bullish crossover right here, what I told you right here, right? I told you let's suck it up, because the 2D MACD, that's the only thing we were waiting for to go long. Right here, what we said right here. You can go back and watch my videos. I said 2D MACD flip bullish, right? All these moving averages cross bullish, time to suck it up. Okay, go long. But the dump right here, we said buy spot 409.75. That's where I got my 409.75, because we traded it down when BTC was at 45.5. We said support 409.75 all the way down to 38.2, and we hit like 39.5, broke out above 45. We said bang, let's take it to the moon. Pretty very easy strategy, guys. Sometimes you just have to keep it very, very simple. That way you won't be stressing too much, right? And the 2D time frame right here, we didn't talk about the 2D time frame, but I told you something very important regarding this pattern. This pattern, it is a very, very negative momentum pattern. Okay, whenever you see it, you have to run away. Have to run away. Okay, it is very, very bad. So if you're a bull, just remember this pattern is not good for you. Okay, not only on the 2D, but it doesn't matter what time frame you see it. Right? If you see it, just run away. Yeah, just don't be too bullish, basically. If you take a look at it right here, that's the same pattern we had right there. Rejection right there, and rejection right there. Okay, right here also, right? So yeah. K4 Liberty, thanks a lot. Hey, thanks a lot, Papa. Thanks a lot for tuning in. K4 Liberty in the house. Bye Boo in the house, Mr. Litecoin, Mr. Zcash, Mr. Wonderland. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the chat room. Let's go ahead and take a look at VET for Buzz. So VET BTC. Let's take a look at it on. So VET BTC. I like the setup, right? I like the setup. The 3D looks good. Okay, it looks good, but BTC is very, very shaky. Okay, so in general, okay, whenever we get this type of a bullish pattern, and it is giving us a double up, meaning like a too bullish, like a bull, too bullish bull divergence, right? Who's this guy? That's Satoshi bringing in. So if you take a look at it right here, right, we got one and we got another one right here. Okay, and we're still creating what? Lower lows. Okay, it is a wedge pattern. Okay, but we got to get to we got to push back above the 21 EMA. Okay, I like the setup, but BTC is very shaky. So let's see. And VChain, I'm gonna give you guys one secret. VChain likes to follow BTC. Okay, so do not mess around, right, with VChain trying to be bearish with it when BTC is pumping. So just accumulate VChain when BTC is pumping, basically. Okay, just to know, like you're most likely going to get some gains, right? More gains actually, right? If you basically hold VChain when BTC is pumping, right? So we talk about it since like 2019, guys. I've been following VChain long enough to know the pattern for VChain. So what you need to look for right now for VChain, you just have to pay attention to the weekly time frame. Since like we can't get a 3D bullish reversal, we have to wait for the weekly. Okay, the reason for that, like if we go back since like 2019, even though we've been paying attention to the 3D time frame, right? The weekly was playing a crucial role. Meaning like whenever the 3D give us a signal, a bullish signal pattern, it get confirmed with the weekly MACD crossing bullish right there, right there. Okay. I don't think I ever talk about it, but I was paying attention to it. Even though I was just being bullish on the 3D, I was still paying attention to the weekly time frame. So if you take a look at it right here, we got a bullish pattern on the 3D. It means this time we just have to suck it up and wait for the bullish crossover right here. Okay. If okay, we fail to cross bullish, it means we just have to suck it up. Meaning like, either we can follow the support trend line, right? And the next support going to be right here. And we could use our Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, put it on log scale, bang. That's going to be the golden packet right here, right here. Okay, 124 to 91. Okay, we're most likely going to get a strong bounce if the weekly MACD doesn't cross bullish. If you want to basically you could even basically say, okay, it is a bullish divergence if you like to use your histogram, right? But I'm not a big fan of the bullish divergence based on histogram. Okay, I think I got wrecked on it a couple of times, so I'm not using it. So 666 in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. 666, you gone quiet, man. Did you dump all your BTC at 69 and just went to the beach? Tux Nor, thanks a lot for tuning in. XRP 589. So now let's go ahead and move on to 589. I think somebody says VChain. Mana. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Mana USDT. So Mana, I think last time we talked about Mana, we talked about like paying attention to what the weekly 21. For some reason, okay, even though price is dumping for Mana, bulls, okay, they still in control because the volume is pretty low. So weekly 21 is at 258, right? We almost hit 265 last week, but did not quite hit the weekly 21 EMA. Let's take a look at it right here. Okay, so that's what we were saying regarding Mana. So weekly 21 going to be the first support if price level, okay, dips. If price action dips lower, you could be looking for the 50% pullback right there at 188. But mainly just pay attention to the weekly 21. Okay, because MACD, it is not negative yet. However, once we get a negative MACD and price action still want to stay above the weekly 21, you got to run away. You got to run away. You got to take some profits. Not financial advice, but I'm just telling you based on what I've been saying recently, right? Because sometimes MACD can cross negative and price action going to get a strong bounce off of the 21 EMA. Okay, so if we get that bounce and start to get some weak responses right here above like a $4, just run away and just wait for the previous support right here. Previous resistance probably going to act as support, right? And if we get a strong breakout, suck it up all the way up to $10. That's going to be one-to-one extension of our previous move. Okay, as you can see right here, we got rejected at 0.786. So the next Fibonacci on the upside going to be $10, regardless of how low we drop. Even if we drop down here, we still got that $10, and potentially all the way up to $36 in the next like a few months, right? But we will see. I'm not saying we will go all the way up to 36. All I'm saying is, 1.27 going to be 23, 1.41 extension going to be 36, right? 1.27 extension 23, 1.41 extension 36. But that's going to be macro. Could take like a few months to get there. Cardano, Dexter in a house. Got a bag of ICP till MF saying I got a bag of ICP at 26, not selling till 80. I think 80 is too soon to be selling, man. Let's take a look at ICP. So ICP, if you guys recall, I said it, okay, even though I'm bullish on ICP, okay, I said it clearly. I was like, okay, we got our average support at 28, okay. However, if we break out below it, it could be nasty, right? It could be nasty below it, especially versus BTC, ICP, BTC. Especially versus BTC. Everything is, in my premium group, okay? I said it. If we break out below 90,000 sats, no need to be messing with ICP till we hit what? 45 to 55,000 sats. And as you can see, if you basically paid attention to our ICP, you know exactly you should be basically accumulating it at 45 to 55,000 sats. We're still not out of the woods yet, okay? We're still below the weekly 21. So I like the volume versus BTC. It is it is constantly increasing. As you can see, sell volume constantly decreasing. So we will get some big breakouts over the next like a few weeks, but we just have to be patient, okay? Just have to be patient, because if we break out above the 150k sats over the next like a few weeks or even few months, guys, the next big target going to be almost at over 400,000. Okay, right there could be going back to all-time high, but we just don't know when this sucker going to do it. Okay, we just don't know when, because we can still retest the 50,000 right here, double bottom right here, move sideways for the next like a few weeks, few months, and then basically bang, okay, going to the moon. So it is not a short-term trend. It is not a short-term target, right? A 10x move, it is not a joke, okay? It can take like a 6 month or even 1 year, 2 years to get a 10x move, right? But sometimes we're lucky enough. Like for instance, last year when we talked about Filecoin, the reason why I started talking about Filecoin back in January, February, because I've been watching Filecoin since like September, something like actually October, okay, October, November, December. But I talk about it like, regarding that $20 to $200 started like in January, right? But ICP, I talked about it too soon, right? But we will see, okay? We will see. If you buy at $25, 26, and you're looking for $80, it can take time. So you're not short-term trading it. You just put it in, just put it in your put it in a wallet, and basically just be patient, right? Shiba Inu recovering now. Okay, you gain more BTC during the dominance dump. Okay, great. Yeah, but BTC likely to regain its dominance over the next like a few weeks. So, but we will see. Who knows? Okay, so things could basically be very tricky. But I think like we got at least 70% chance or even higher to see the BTC dominance breaking out. We will talk about the BTC dominance later, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP, and then we will take a look at Cardano or Dexter. take a look at them follow on here. So XRP, it doesn't perform well when we start like to trade below the weekly 21 EMA. So it tends to be very weak below the weekly 21. So just to cut it, to keep it very short, right, for XRP, our June, okay, and July lows right there, 55 to 50 cents. Okay, that way we're not going to be trading the noise. Can it drop lower? It can. Yes, it can drop lower, but just have to keep in mind, 55, it is a very important, 50 to 55, it is a very important price level for XRP. Okay, even if you do something like that, okay, you can see like this range, it is a mid-range. It is the mid-range for XRP. Okay, so if you buy, if you accumulate XRP in this range, anything below it going to be what? It is going to be a steal, right? But let's see over the next like a few weeks, especially if we can get it like in January, that'd be better, right? That way we get our early price support in in January and all that good stuff, right? So, but as of now, XRP is weak, right? Is weak against BTC. It is weak versus the dollar. Yeah, versus BTC, it is not looking strong with the descending triangle right here. So it could give us a fake out and pump back up to like a 2700. But we will see. Because if we pump back up to 2700 sats, it means like XRP USD is likely to pump to the upside also, right? But the support to look for if you're trading XRP BTC, let's say you're holding some BTC and you want to buy some alt, you could be looking for the bottom right there. Just suck it up and wait for the bottom. Okay, 1000 sats and lower. Yeah. However, it doesn't look like a head and shoulder pattern, but if we break out above the 3000 sats right there, it's all yours all the way up to 10,000. Okay, so I think like XRP, as I said, it is still a good hold, but you just have to be very patient. You don't want, I don't want to be going all in XRP because I know it can basically move sideways for a very long time, right, before it gives you a big bump. So but the 10,000 sats target right here, it is still my target, and I will definitely be going into BTC if XRP, hits like 10,000, and definitely would look to add to position if XRP hits, 5,000. I mean, not 5,000, but 1,000 to 500 sats, give or take, right? Depending on the volatility. Okay. So now let's go ahead. I just talked about ICP, but let's go back to ICP USD. So ICP USDT. So the average support for ICP, $28, right? Secondary support going to be at 17.5. Okay. Because we still we don't have enough price history, but if we but you can, if you've been trading the market long enough, right, this pattern right here, it is even a bull divergence, but we don't have enough price history, right, on the MACD to basically say, okay, it is a bull divergence. But sometimes you don't need indicators to to print a bull divergence. This pattern right here, it is always, okay, 99.99%, you know, a bull divergence. But we just have to wait for a reversal, okay? The weekly 21 is too far, so because we dumped too fast. So got to get back above the 3D, right, and stay there. I like the 3D crossover right here, but the thing is, like, you know, it is too far, okay, below the histogram. So it means even if we pump right here, we're probably going to get another one somewhere around here if the volatility is low. That's what I'm saying. We can basically still be in this range, right? So I'm not short-term trading it, so you know, you just have to be patient with it. But keep an eye on 17.5, next DCA price level. It is actually 19.5 down to like a 16.5, something like that, but on average, right, 17.5. Volume looks good right there, okay? XRP, the worst performer among the top 10 for the last 5 years, says Mr. Ken. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at I have Jazz. I don't know what you call it, Jasmine, whatever, Jasmine, on my watch list. Let's see. It pumped last week a lot though, but let's take a look at the BTC dominance before we talk about alt again, because we're likely to get a breakout. Okay, so the BTC dominance right here, you know, I know most of you guys going to be like, Sen, isn't it a double top, double bottom, a continuation pattern? Yes, it is. So if you take a look at it right here, that's exactly what we said back in back in back in September, right? If you guys been following me long enough, when BTC was at 39.5, like the first week of September, what we said, we're going to be pushing back up to a 48%, right? And we pumped all the way up to 47.7, right? The first we talk about it, guys. So, and what we said we're going to be dumping low, but we don't know. We don't know once we retest the lows right here if we're going to continue the downtrend. Technically, right, that's what I would be anticipating, and that's what I was anticipating. However, the way BTC been behaving over the last few weeks, few months, doesn't suggest as of now, right, it will break it. Okay, so we needed to break out in, like, let's say, you know, in 1 week we needed to get like a 10% dump, something like that, right? That way we would be confident, you know, BTC won't basically survive the alt dominance, and BTC will likely to dump. Okay, right here on the weekly basis, we still got a bullish MACD right there. Okay, so depending what type of traders you are, right, some of these traders, right, they might be drawing what, a descending triangle, right? You could draw a descending triangle right here. That's still valid. It's nothing wrong to say, okay, we got a descending triangle right here. Nothing wrong. And you could project a 120 extension to the downside like that, and put it right here and say, oh, sucker gonna dump down to 30%. Nothing wrong. Okay. However, okay, if we take a look at the our indicators, right, and if we take a look at the current market sentiment, it doesn't suggest as of now, okay, this setup will play out like that. If the market sentiment changes, right, we could basically say, oops, let's suck it up, alt about to pump to the upside. Okay, and the BTC dominance pumping doesn't even suggest, like, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say suggest, but it doesn't even mean like alt will dump. If the BTC dominance break, you know, get a big breakout to the upside, and BTC finds support at the monthly 21, we could break out to the upside. Okay, alt could break out, with BTC, but they won't break out like, you know, in terms of like percentage, they won't break out like BTC. For instance, if BTC breaks out like 20%, Alt might break out like 5-7%. That's still going to pump the BTC dominance to the upside. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can't just say like, oh, the BTC dominance going up, Alt will die. Nope, it doesn't work that way. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes, yes, BTC dominance going up means like Alt will dump. But if you recall, back in between October 2020 till basically January 2021, what happened right here, right there, okay? The BTC dominance was pumping, right? From like 57 all the way up to like 73%. Alt, Alt BTC was moving, Alt BTC were, I would say, moving down, but Alt USD was pretty constant, okay? Ether was still pumping from like September all the way up to January 2021. Ether was like $300, $400 range, and we pumped all the way up to $700, and the BTC dominance was up to like 70%. So we just have to be very cautious the way we trying to determine the BTC dominance behavior, right? Because it is not a straight line analysis. You can't just say, oh, the BTC dominance about to take care of business, and Alt about to get wrecked, right? But I'm just going to be cautious. As of now, I would say 70% chance the BTC dominance will break out, right? However, right, we just have to wait and see if BTC will get support at the monthly 21 all the way down to the weekly 100 EMA, so 37.35. So the way we will basically take care of 37.35, we possibly, okay, determine the BTC dominance behavior over the next like a few weeks or few months, okay? Because if we break out right here, we could be breaking out till September, because as I said, September, it is a turning point for BTC dominance, for the BTC dominance, right? But let's see, okay? We could be talking about the BTC dominance forever, right? Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, I just try to give information regarding the dominance, but I don't trade based on the BTC dominance. For instance, I don't basically uh, go out alt 100% because the BTC dominance will basically dump or pump and all that good stuff. But I just pay attention to the BTC dominance to see, the overall market sentiment. For instance, right here, if you guys recall, I was very bullish like January, February, and March, right? And that's when we got most of our big pump like FET, OEN, Filecoin, and all that good stuff. And some of these alt they did not pump, but if you take a look at it, after we broke out back in March, the BTC dominance like dumped like 37%. And you guys know what happened, right? With alt, we got multiple 10x moves, right? So, but we will see, okay? We will see. But you don't want to trade basically the market just based on the BTC dominance, right? But it is good to pay attention to it to basically get the overall market sentiment. Yeah, of course. That's exactly what I tried to say. Because sometimes some of these alt can pump like 10x, right? But if that alt is like, let's say, a 2 million market cap alt can go all the way up to like, let's say 20 million market cap, right? That's a 10x pump, right? But it might not affect the BTC dominance because the that supply, okay, that total supply for that alt, that total market cap for that alt, right, is very low. Okay, that market cap for that alt. You see what I'm saying? So it won't affect the BTC dominance. So for instance, for the BTC dominance to break out, Ether, XRP, Cardano, Solana, uh, you know, all that good stuff, right? You name it, all those top coins, they got to dump a lot. Okay, they got to dump a lot. If they don't dump, and the BTC dominance wants to pump to the upside, it means BTC has to pump a lot. You see what I'm saying? So, but like the top 400 coins, they won't basically make a big difference, even if they go 2x, right? Not all of them, but few of them, right? Yeah, good indicator. It is a good indicator. Hey, what's up, Brebi? Brebi. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at Jazz. I really don't know how to Jasmine or Jasmine, whatever. I'll call it Jasmine, like Bella Mi Amore. Jazz. I think I got the Jazz set up right here. So guys, if you don't have cointrader.com, make sure to use CoinTrader, charts.cointrader.pro. That's a link right there. You can use that link to use this platform. You can use the 3D, all type of all type of time frame you want to use. Okay, so Jazz, I like the parabolic move right here, but keep an eye on like a 78 to 85 sats. I like the parabolic move to the upside, the first one, right? So it could give us this parabolic move. So it is still a good hold because you just don't know. I think I talked about it regarding AMP when AMP was like 85 to 78. Okay, I was like, okay, AMP gave us a parabolic move to the upside, and that time it was like right around like 87, something like that, right? But as you can see, AMP pumped back up above like 100 sats. So it is still a good hold. However, if it dumps, that's Satoshi again. If it dumps down to 85, 78, it is going to be a good level to start accumulating. The total macro support going to be at 26. Okay, but I would say it is still a good hold, right? Yeah, these suckers can dump, man. Take a look at this guy. Been dumping since like February. So I would just hold it for the rest of the year or even the next few months. It's down like 99%. So low sell volume right here. So nothing crazy. Let's take a look at AMP. Yeah, AMP right here. Beautiful setup, okay? Take a look at it on 3D. Yeah, it is a nice setup. So 0.786 got support right there. So if it dumps lower, make sure to grab some. All right, thanks a lot, Emery. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Next one, let's go ahead and take a look at storage and Gala. So storage, speaking of storage, okay guys, pay attention to Loom, okay? Loom BTC, let's take a look at storage first before we talk about Loom, right? So storage is kind of tricky, okay? It depends if you like to trade it versus BTC, right? Or versus the dollar. I think like trading storage versus BTC is better, right? Because it could be moving in this range of 1,000 sats to 5,000 sats. Okay, so we've been doing pretty well with storage over the last few years. Okay, since like I would say right there, 2019, right? And 2020, especially 2020, guys. You remember that storage pump when I was saying like, guys, by the dip, storage we will pump like all the way up to 6,000. That time, storage was like at 2,000 sats. So it pumped like sucker pump like over 200%, right? And that same level of resistance, right? The June 2019 highs, right? It is basically rejecting the price level. Okay, so if you're holding storage right now above like let's say 3,500 to a 400, 3,500, right? 4,000 area, got to take profits. Got to take profits, right? And basically, let's see if it can basically get to like a 10,000, and then basically after that 12,000. You don't want to hold it at or above this range, okay? Because it will come back down versus BTC. So what I would say is like take profits, right? Even if it goes up, you can still buy it back around 1,000 to 1,500 sats over the next like a few months. It's not going anywhere, okay? But if whenever you see storage around 2,000, you got to start like accumulating, okay? So let's move on to Gala. Doesn't have enough history, but I like it on a weekly. So Gala weekly is already negative. We below the weekly 21. The weekly, not weekly, that's not weekly, that's not 2D. Weekly previous resistance right here. Okay. That's kind of deep, right? It's kind of deep. Let's take a look at it on the 3D. Yeah, Gala doesn't have any sell volume, man. I don't know. This guy is pretty bullish, man. Even though BTC is looking pretty weak, Gala is looking pretty strong on the weekly with the 3D 21 support right here. So look for a bounce off of the 21, because we just don't have enough history for the weekly to rely on our weekly 21. And I like the weekly breakout. Let's go back to don't have let's take a look at it on the 2D. Yeah, we just don't want to break out below the 3D 21 as of now, because if we break out below the 3D 21, we would be looking for the weekly 21, but not enough history on the weekly. Based on Fibonacci, next support going to be 550. Okay, 550. 550 sats. GLA USD second now below the 3D 21. So I was bearish on this guy like right around like a 55, okay, a couple of weeks ago. So Gala USD, our support was right here actually at 38 cents. But let's see if we break out further. The 50% pullback going to be all the way down to 23. I know it doesn't sound good, but that's what Fibonacci is saying, not me, right? So that's going to be the secondary support based on USD 24 cents, right? If we break out below the 382 Fibonacci, which is exactly at 31 cents right now, actually 32 cents right there. It just doesn't have enough history. That's why it is so. Yeah, I would just hold it for the next like a few weeks, you know, especially if you bought right here, might want to take some profits. Daily is not, it is not suggesting yet a reversal, a strong negative momentum right there. Blacktopia. All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at ADA. ADA BTC. We will take a look at Loom next, okay? ADA BTC, it is a support just about like 3,000. We got a bullish MACD, but I'm not, I just don't know. I just don't know if we can get a reversal off of this bullish MACD. RSI, it is still pretty weak, right? But if we dump down to the next support area, right around like 1870, I would say 1800 sats, 1900 sats, going to be the next support level for ADA, which was basically our support area back in 2018 and resistance back in 2019. Okay, and I explained to you guys back in 2019 how we basically nailed the 1971 resistance. So that could be a support if we dump to that level. Okay, once again, it doesn't mean like we can break out, but it might not be a trend reversal. We still got to consolidate above the 21 EMA for a few days before we push to the upside. Okay, and if we push to the upside, resistance is going to be 4,500 range. So, and support right here, 1800 to 1900 sats. Capish? All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Loom, guys. So Loom, Elf, storage, you know, you guys know the story, okay? We killed them back in 2020, right there, right? A big pump on Loom, big pump on Elf, big, and AGI. I haven't been talking about AGI recently because they basically are, you know, rebranded and but if you guys recall back then, right, back in 2020, right, we used to compare what Loom versus not Loom, not compare, but we used to basically say Loom and AGI, they got the same pattern. And AGI right now, I think it is right around like I think 500 sats, right? I'm going to take a look at it for a while, but so but just to cut it short, we got a potential big pump on Loom in the next like a few weeks or a few months. Keep an eye on it. The June 2019 resistance right here, it is at 1000 sats. Okay, and the March 2019 prices all the way up to like, you know, almost 2000 sats. Okay, I know some of you guys going to be like, no way, we can pump 10x. But guess what, guys? When we talk about request last year, back in March, April, request was like around like what, 200 sats. So if you held on to your request right till November, you would have made what, 10x your BTC. Okay, so it is not a short-term trade, but I think like within the next few months, we got a potential move all the way up to the March 2019 prices right there. Okay, take some profits. Once again, 600 sats, you know, at least close 30 to 40%. You know, 1000 sats, close another, you know, probably 60 to 75%, and basically, you know, take a good chunk right here. The reason for that is like if we pump to a 600 sats and dump right here, you know, you can basically add on to your position and just sit tight, relax. Okay. If we pump all the way up to 1000, dump back down to the 600 sat, you can still add on to your position and basically just take it to the upside. We will get to that level. Okay. We will get to this level right here. We will get there. I'm pretty sure, guys. I'm telling you, not financial advice, but okay. But we can't talk about a upside target without talking about like supports, right? So primary support going to be 130 and secondary support going to be on average 100 sats. Okay. So the lower, the better. So, you know, but a nice average, just about like 100 sats will, you know, going to seal the deal because, you know, that's going to give us our nice pump to the upside, right? In terms of MACD, 3D is calling for a pump, right? 3D bull divergence, it is still, you know, it is not actually a bull divergence, but it is pretty strong, right? So MACD doesn't look bad at all. So even if we dump down to 100 sats, you know, it is still going to be okay. It is still going to be in range. Okay. And if you want to play patterns, you got a nice inverse head and shoulder right here. Okay. Even if we retest the, you know, 111, 120, it is still going to be a nice head and shoulder. If you take a look at dusk, okay, I gave you guys dusk, like, no, actually, I gave it to Buzz. Okay. Dusk right here. I told you about dusk before even the breakout, you know, it got this, you know, set up just like Loom. And we hit 2000 target right here. Okay. It looks better right here. Right here. Okay. It looks better right here. Okay. Talk about dusk when it was like, you know, 250 sats, 300 sats, right? So I take profits right here and take it to the moon. That's the same exact setup as, you know, pretty close to a Loom, okay? Take a look at REQ request, nearly same exact setup. This range right here, right? That's where you want to be, you know. And I told you about request. I told you request looks like a CHR, you know, FET, you know, FTM, OEN. They all had the same, you know, had the same setup. The parabolic move to the downside. We knew the pump was gonna come. We just sometimes we just don't know when. Okay. So support at 450. But if you held on to your request since like when 150, 200 sats, bang, that's a 10x move, guys. Hey, what's up, Tyro? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hey, you're welcome, Mr. Papa. Is it over for BTC? Mr. Tyro is asking. It's not over, man. Come on now, Tyro. Let's just suck it up, man. We're going to the moon. Tyro, it's not over, man. That was just a. Don't worry about the title. We've seen this before, guys. It's not like, you know, we didn't talk about all these prices before the dump. The thing is, if you get warned like multiple times and you weren't ready for these price actions, you're going to, you know, you're going to be worried, right? But if you've been watching our channel long enough, you know, as soon as we dump below the 21 EMA, close, you know, a candle below it, a bearish candle below it, we said pack your bags, okay? Pack your bags. Okay, and just be patient. Okay, but it is not over at all. Let's take a look at the BLX. If we take a look at BTC on the macro view, right, on the BLX, what we said, we saying, right, our next upside target, it is going to be around like 180K. Okay, that's going to be our next consolidation range. So why worried about BTC, right, dumping down to like 35, 30K range? Okay, when you know you're looking for another 5, 6x to the upside. The quarterly 21 EMA right here, it is right now at 22K. So, you know, just have to accumulate the dips. I'm not saying we will dump down there, but if we do, bang. Okay, you know exactly what to do. Okay, 1.27 right here can't let the price pump above it. So if we retrace lower, find support at the monthly 21 or lower, we will start to you know, speculate about the 180. And we got 1.618 extension all the way up to 923,000, guys. Okay, so be patient, guys. Be patient. It could take months or years to get there, but who cares, right? If they bought BTC back in 2012 at $2, $5, and they waited for nearly 10 years for BTC to hit, you know, 50,000 and all that good stuff, I'm pretty sure most of you guys can wait for BTC to hit like above 500, right? So, including myself, right? So we just talk about Cardano. Now you are out checking your alt. Yeah, we talk about Cardano. Let's take a look at ADA USD. Yeah, it could be a very, very boring weekend again. Whoa, we haven't gone for a live stream like we haven't we haven't done a live stream this long for a very long time. Uh, where this guy is? Sucker 88. So 88 monthly doesn't look good. Okay, so 88 support. Before even we talk about the monthly, it is going to be 105 to 95. If we break out below it, that's going to be 75 cents. Okay, even though the monthly is bad, right? Engulfing, the volume it is still low. Okay, I mean quarterly actually, not monthly. So 105 to 95 going to be temporary support. If we break out below it, you got average price support going to be at 75 cents. Okay. So we below the weekly 21. MACD it is still negative, right? So we got a long way to you know, to get our bullish crossover on our, you know, on our MACD. Okay. But you know, if you've been following some crypto long enough, ADA right here, we said, you know, hold on to your ADA. Even right here back in 2019, right? But versus BTC right around like 600 sats, 500 sats. Okay, it didn't pump a lot, right? In BTC, even though it pumped like 90, almost like 100x and all that good stuff. But versus BTC pump like what from 600 sats to 6,000 sats. That's only 10x, right, in BTC, really. But since like BTC pumped to 20x and all that good stuff, that makes it that made ADA pumped a lot, ADA USD. But versus BTC, it did not basically do anything crazy like other alt like Solana or VeChain, like hey, VeChain only did a 12x too, so just like ADA, really. Okay, mainnet for ADA. So let's go back to BTC, guys. Let's go back to the hourly. So hourly getting rejected by the 21. So we got to take out the 21 EMA and still got to take out the 50 temporarily, right? If it can, and later on try to retest the 100 EMA at some point right here. That's basically the takeaway. It could still triple bottom because it is a it is, you could call it flat, but it could triple bottom. If we find support, it could go back up. However, I'm not bullish in the short term, so I won't be basically messing with it unless we retest the 100 EMA, but not try to scalp it and all that good stuff. It is better to wait for it to get to that level, because as you can see right here, we created one right here, and you might be bullish, right, trying to buy the breakout, dump back down. Take a look at it right here, right, same exact pattern. Okay, same exact pattern, and same exact pattern as what we had right here, but it is only a correction. Okay, so this pattern right here could be just another correction. That could be just another correction, something like that this weekend. Okay, and pay attention to your hourly. If the hourly time frame, okay, on the MACD it manages to basically pump to the upside right here. Look for the crossover. Okay, look for the crossover. Okay, the next hourly crossover will basically hourly MACD, okay, crossover will basically seal the deal. So whenever you're looking for a dump, especially on your 6 hour, right, look for the 6 hour MACD negative crossover. For instance, like if you get a flat correction, right there, like what we had on Gemini, right? I'm pretty sure most trader did not basically pay attention to the Gemini chart. Like you got your setup, you got your flat correction right here. You be like, okay, I know I got a beautiful setup. However, I gotta wait for confirmation. Your confirmation going to be what? Your MACD right here, negative crossover. Okay, it is very important. Okay, you got the crossover right here. You got the 6 hour engulfing candle. I showed you guys. We went live. When BTC got the negative crossover right here and the 6 hour engulfing. Okay, back in on the 27th, right? That was Monday, a couple of Mondays ago, right? We went live, so I showed you everything. That's the same thing on the hourly basis. So if you're looking for the confirmation on your hourly, if sucker pump back up, I'm not saying it will, but if it creates something like that, right here, MACD most likely going to be in this range. Okay, you look for the either a divergence or the crossover, and it's going to wick down. Okay. All right, Mr. Dexter. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a good night, man. All right, guys. I'm just gonna. Oh, let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Quiet Cook TKY Ether. I think the key, right? The key, yeah. The key is not opening anything, man, as of now. I'm just joking, but yeah. So the key, you got resistance right here. So weekly 100 EMA almost at 275. Actually, that's 16 sats, right? So it is going to be let's do this. Right now we at 16 sats. Yeah, you got resistance all the way up to 150 sats. So it is a nice setup, and volume is increasing. So it is still a good hold, for the next upside move all the way up to 150 to 160 sats. So it is still a good hold. You created a similar pattern right here back in March 2020, right there. So it could be a quick move. So keep an eye on it. If it pumps to that level, don't be looking for like 1,000 sats and all that good stuff. Have to take some profits. And it started right there also, right? That's how it started also, right? It could end that way also. So could basically triple bottom and then basically go to the moon after that. And then go to the moon. But I would definitely take profit if you're holding it at 150 to 160. Right now it is at 15 sats. So you got a big move coming up. So suck it up. Not financial advice. All right, guys. I'm just going to call it at night. So hopefully you guys accumulating the dips. Market ain't going nowhere. BTC most likely going to hit 300 to a $400,000, $500,000, before the next halving, right? In 2021, 2024, guys, it's only 2 years. So you don't want to be selling your BTC 2 years before the halving, okay? You want to be accumulating, okay? So we talk about these type of macro setups back in 2019, okay? When BTC, even though I was bearish at some point back in June 2019, we were saying even if you hold your BTC even in the next like a 3 to 5 years, sucker could be above like a 50K and all that good stuff, right? So in the next 2 to 4 years, you're looking at like 250 to 500K, rough estimate, right? It is not guaranteed, but based on the previous price history, you guys know the deal. Okay, not time to be panicking. Suck it up, accumulate alts, hold on to your BTC. There is only 21 million BTC around, right? Will be around forever, right? So if you're holding one BTC right now, guys, come on. You know the deal, right? You don't want to be giving it out to the world. Okay? Suck it up. Ether is pretty cheap, right? 3,000. We could be looking at like 20K, 40K Ether in the next 2.5 to 4 years, right? Right? So if BTC is going to be pumping, if BTC is going to be pumping all the way up to 400K, 0.1 Ether, 0.1 BTC, right? For Ether going to be 40K. right? That's easy math, right? Easy math. So don't be panicking. Suck it up. Be patient. Accumulate alt, right? And we will have a moon party, right? Later on. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, man.